DVDs, concerts, merchandise, even theme parks. Wigglemania is not just about how much these guys are loved by kids, but the size of the business empire. So how do four guys in skivvies become Australia's richest entertainers? Showbiz got to live out the dream of every 4-year-old in Australia and spend a day with the Wiggles. It started early on breakfast telly. Back to Wiggles HQ for their own brekkie, followed by makeup, a magazine photo shoot, and then on to recording their next DVD.
And action.
They may be our richest entertainers, but they'd also be among the busiest. This year alone, they've toured the UK, the US 3 times, and their latest ARIA-nominated DVD, Pop Go the Wiggles, has just been released.
With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, this old man came rolling home.
In a former life, Anthony and Jeff were rocking to a different tune as the Cockroaches. When that folded, Anthony came up with the Wiggles.
It was my idea to do a children's album and get my friends at university, that was Murray and Greg, and Jeff from the old Cockroaches days together and make a children's album. I never knew this was going to happen, that we'd be still here 16 years later.
In fact, he told Jeff it'd be done and dusted in a day.
Can you come down to the studio for a couple of hours? So it's not going to take too long. So I said, okay, I'll come down. And 16 years later, it's still going. So.
And just who's to blame for the skivvies?
I think me, actually. I think it might have been my idea. Because I had a red sort of skivvy and I said, guys, if we just wore these primary colours, you know, it'd be easy. It'd be an easy costume, I suppose.
Skivvies aside, to your average 4-year-old, the Wiggles are singing, dancing rock gods. Heaps of colour, fun characters, but this is music with a message. Thanks to the Wiggles, kids are drinking water and eating fruit.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
With a background in early childhood, they say the aim is always to empower kids.
If they watch a Wiggles video or come to a show, we hope at the end of it they're going to feel better about themselves because, hey, I did that, I danced to that, or I sung along with that. Or, hey, Mum and Dad, let's go and make some fruit salad at home, or things like that. So it's just all about positive reinforcement and encourage them to be themselves, which is basically what parenting's all about as well.
It's been a big year for the Wiggles, not just the workload, but the shock exit of Yellow Wiggle Greg Page, who's suffering a chronic illness which causes dizziness, fatigue and nausea.
It certainly did rock us. I mean, we've been together for so long and we started as friends and we continued as friends and so it's not that you lose a friend, but when you're that close to someone touring all the time, it's quite a shock when they're not there anymore. He's doing okay, like he's doing better than he was. He looked pretty good the last time we saw him and he's managing his illness.
Sam Moran had been working with the Wiggles since 1998. When Greg left, he donned a yellow skivvy, toned down his opera-trained voice and became the newest Wiggle.
I've been great mates with these guys for years now, so to be able to do this every day and just have a great time is fantastic.
Sure is, especially when you've got a fan club like the Wiggles do.
I did meet Justin Timberlake just last week. That was quite surreal. But we've also met Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker and Robert De Niro, Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, you pinch yourself, really. These people that you loved watching on TV and they love watching you, so it's great.
What's great though is that being a parent is such a great leveller. When they come along, it's all about their child. It's not about them being a celebrity. It's about my child loves the Wiggles and it's about us interacting with the child.
And while they don't like to talk about it, some of the Wiggles fan mail adds a whole new meaning to the term desperate housewife. Anthony has always been the mother's choice Wiggle and was a former Clio Bachelor of the Year. But sex symbols, well, they think not.
Really? No, I don't know about that. I can understand though mums and dads getting right into it because I'm a parent myself, and if your children like something, you actually start liking it even more than they do because they're entertaining.
And for the Wiggles, it is all about their pint-sized fans, even though they have that nasty habit of excruciating honesty.
Murray had one where a child stopped him during the show and said, "Murray, you're melting," because he was sweating so much.
I remember one years and years ago in a very small hall, and Anthony came out and the kid pointed and said, "You're ugly."
Make no mistake though, this is not just kid stuff. The Wiggles are big business. raking in $50 million last financial year. Anthony's brother Paul Field, you may remember him as the lead singer of the Cockroaches, is their manager and admits the stats are impressive.
Worldwide now, over 16 years, they've sold over 22 million DVDs, over 5 million CDs. They annually draw, I think, about 1 million ticket goers to their concerts. And there's very few acts of any genre that do that consistent business. There are pop acts that come and go, but 16 years is an amazing phenomenon for anyone to continue.
They're operating out of new facilities in Sydney's northwest. Between overseas tours, they shoot both the Wiggles and new Dorothy the Dinosaur videos and DVDs. State-of-the-art studios and editing facilities mean pretty much the entire package is produced in-house. The complex also houses the Wiggles' lucrative online merchandise store, which takes orders from across the world. North America, in fact, has become their biggest market.
They tour there 3 times a year, and we have been for probably well over a decade now. So certainly not an overnight success. And one can't take that success in America for granted. You know, they certainly have, it's the home of entertainment in the world. So it's an amazing achievement that the guys were successful there.
In the early days, though, they were told they'd never crack the US.
You know, other early childhood brands in America, Bob the Builder, Thomas the Tank Engine, they revoiced. They got rid of the English accents and said, you know, you'll need an American accent to be successful. Well, for 2 reasons. One, entertainment, that's wrong because you need to be unique. And from an early childhood point of view, no child's going to say, wow, that's an Australian accent, I'm not familiar with it. They don't care, they don't understand the difference. So the guys were very right to stick by their guns.
And in the spirit of brand expansion, there's now 2 overseas Wiggles franchise groups and 4 theme parks.
There's one in Australia, Dreamworld in Queensland, which is fantastic. And that was the first one, and we've got that right. And then the US, in fact, the largest theme park group in America, Six Flags, chose the Wiggles. And think about that for a moment. You know, the largest theme park chain in America picking an Australian brand to be a constant in their parks is pretty amazing.
So what has been the secret to all this success?
You can't plan these things. It just happened naturally. And some of the best things do. So yeah, that's the reason though. Very firm foundation stones in education and music and in that X factor.
I think that's one of the great things about it is that it grew fairly organically, and I think that's been part of the success, that people recognise that we're genuine about it, and we didn't really set out to conquer the world or anything, but it's been very successful, so it's wonderful.
Ask anyone associated with the Wiggles and they'll tell you that despite being superstars, these guys are totally down to earth. Murray and Anthony are dads, but are they cool?
Cool. We're cool. You know, I think we're so not cool that there's a little bit of coolness about it. We're dags, but we love it.
My daughter's in high school now, she's in year 8, and I thought I might be a bit of an embarrassment, but I went to an information night the other night, and there was a whole lot of year 8 kids there, and they all got really excited when I came in, and they're all doing the wiggle fingers, and it's sort of like there's almost not a coolness, but I think children look back at their childhood, or so teenagers look back at their childhood quite fondly, and they see the Wiggles as part of their childhood, so there's quite fond. So I don't embarrass them as much as I thought I would.
And what about the future? It's fair to say they're getting on a bit, and they do think about it.
Anthony and I are both in our mid-40s. Jeff's a little older, and but so there must be a limit to it. But I think the way bringing Sam, the changeover with Sam, I think has sort of shown that people are accepting someone else being a Wiggle, and so that's quite heartening for the future.
And parents around the world can breathe a sigh of relief. These guys have no plans to hang up the skivvies anytime soon.
I'd like to announce that I will still be wiggling for a long time yet.
Me too.
We love it.
And what's not to love? The Wiggles tour Australia in December.